cannot protect the environment unless you help the people understand that the resources they are abusing, which is land, water, and air, they actually belong to them, so that they own it up and they support the process of protection. And we cannot have a better community or a better institution that can advise the people to protect the environment than the kingdom. And that's why we come here, so that you know your voice, we know you have the people listen to the leadership through the chiefdom, the 11 chiefdoms that you have. You can reach out to these 4.4 million people, and if they all accepted the issues of protecting the environment, then the rest of the country will also be better, because we are doing that throughout the country. Number two is that we live here. Now, everybody who wears uniform at least has lived in Busoga. Because before, and many of our schools are still here, concentrated in this area. When you turn here on the Mayuga side in Magamaga, you have institutions. You go here in Jinja, here alone, you have quite a number of them. Except now the new one where the general is from, which is in Uganda, but also most of the time they are in Busoga because most of the services are in Jinja. So we have lived here also, we have institutions here, and we are part of the environment. So if you are going to get involved in implementing these strategies, then we have nobody else to work with than the kingdom here. So those are the reasons why we are here, to listen to you. We have seen that the environment is dangerous. And maybe I'll end with a quote from the president again, where he says that we, as those who are living today, we inherited a very beautiful country. And it's therefore our duty to hand over even a better country to the next generation. So we should hand over the country, which is as beautiful as we found it, and even better to the next generation. So it is on that basis that we are here, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can guide us on what you think is important for us to include in this strategy, that when we start implementing, it will be very easy to work with the kingdom here. And we shared, the permanent secretary wrote to the kingdom, shared a draft of our strategy, which we refer to as draft 0, which is, we thought you'd read it through, and if I've identified any gaps in it, you guide us on how we should fill those, and also answer the questionnaire. But the responses should not be limited to the questionnaire, because the effects the questionnaire may have inadvertently left out some of the issues that we think are very important, and we'll be happy to receive those responses so that we can then integrate all of them. Our duty as the Minister of Defense is to make sure that every planning, every program, every policy that we come up with must integrate climate change and environmental issues. Because we know if we don't do that, we shall be called to go and help those who are in distress. But our target is to make sure that we prevent, so that they are not called at all. We should be called to come and eat and party, but not to go and help those who are in distress.
And we as Busoga Kingdom, we are proud to say that we've been in the lead in fighting deforestation and sustainable land use, which also breeds the deforestation. And also, we've been in the forefront of planting trees. As you very well know, our national anthem emphasizes environment, because it is in one of our stanzas in our anthem for the kingdom. Let me take this chance to thank the UPDF that you've come out openly now, because we've been working with the UPDF, Busoga Kingdom, and as a focal person, we've been in the forefront of planting even trees in the barracks, Gaddafi, Kimaka, Magamaga, and hopefully you might have received some reports. And we've been every year also participating. We've been full participation with the UPDF in Taresita, in planting trees and also donating trees. However, having I don't know whether you very well know that most of the operations that contribute to climate change are also brought up by the actions of the army. So by you coming out openly and mitigating your carbon footprints, we are really happy. As you very well know, Busoga Kingdom was one of the kingdoms and is one of the kingdoms which encourages environmental protection, much as our population has overwhelmed over years. We are happy that the kingdom is going through your policy, and hopefully by the close of the month, we will have come out with our input, and we designed an implementation framework of which we are going to work together. Brigadier General Gonyi, please take it from us that we have a very good, receptive population that is also conscious of its environment. We very well know that all actions that we, from morning up to evening, all contribute to climate change, and the kingdom is in the forefront fighting climate change. And as you very well know, it's not only encroachment on the wetlands, forest degradation, unsustainable land use, but also we are on water revitalization, which move hand in hand with tree planting and environmental conservation. However, having come out openly, I'm sure we are going to work together, and I think, as my boss has said, this was it was a meeting to see each other, and we see how we move forward. So hopefully, by the close of the month, if my boss will accept, we will come up with our input, which will guide us through, being that we are on the ground and you're going to use our structures. This fight against climate change does not need a gun, but it needs the mindset and the preparedness of the communities. We can always implement a program, but without giving the communities an alternative solution, like what was on the lake. You chase away the people on the lake, but you don't give them plan B. It's good that State House has come up also with a very good plan of restocking fish, constructing fish ponds for the communities affected. And also here, we thank the government by coming up also with the alternative energy for cooking, like the program which is ongoing of the gas. So here as well, we'll have to design some solutions for people who are going to be affected.
I appreciate the fact that the Busoga Kingdom is already addressing most of the issues. Maybe what you have not talked about is now the waste management issue, because it's also another big environmental issue that we needed to address urgently, because when you go at the banks of the Lake Victoria now, or the rivers, you know that it is filled with filth of things, and some that are not biodegradable. But for us, of course, we continue to appreciate the kingdom here, the cultural institution, because since time immemorial, we have been here and we have not had any issue with anybody. So indeed, we agree that the people here are very hospitable, and that's why those of us who have been here, many of us are actually staying in here. We have bought land, we have built, we have families here, so we are part of the Chavazi. Unfortunately, we can't go anywhere because we can't find a better place than here. And so we are going to be part of and we thank you for all the trees that you share. Indeed, we handle. For us as the UPDF, like you said, we are always in big numbers. So indeed, if you are to cook, those days we were using only firewood, and therefore we're destroying the environment. If we fire guns, we emit. If we drive our vehicles, they emit. So yes, we are part of the team that would affect the environment. And that's why we think we should lead in controlling our emissions. So for us, we have started already diversifying in how we deal with this. When it comes to cooking, now we have gone into the eco stove, not completely energy, but of course, I appreciate that the kingdom knows that the government has put up measures now where they have subsidized on the other alternative energy for cooking, especially on gas, even on electricity. For cooking, they have cut by 50%. So it is deliberate to reduce so that people don't go to kill ourselves by destroying the environment, because the sack of charcoal is currently more expensive than gas. So why would you go to burn charcoal when you can buy gas at a cheap price? And I think government has done that, and we needed to really support and sensitize our people. Like Madhayo Angari said, if people don't know, they will continue thinking that gas is very expensive, they continue thinking electricity is very expensive, and they'll continue going to use charcoal, and they'll continue cutting trees for fuel, for firewood as fuel. So basically, those are the things I thought to do. I really appreciate the fact that you have the youth, somebody who focuses on the youth, because some of us, although our life expectancy has improved a lot to 64, 65 now, I think, but we are already nearing there. So it means that we should be prepared, but the youth should be ready to take this country forward. They don't expect to get better when they are not working. So that was my main concern on that, and I want to appreciate the Busoga Kingdom.
I would also want, through you, to extend our sincere thanks to His Excellency, who has been very passionate about environmental issues. I listen to him, I follow what he says. I have seen several times on very many occasions him coming out and saying we should protect the environment. The only way we can have sustainable growth, sustainable development is when we protect our environment. So I'd like to thank him for his visionary leadership of making us live sustainably in our country as we enjoy the environment. As the expert here said, we are willing, we are going to work with you on ensuring that we also give you our input and coming out with a proper formulation for this strategy. Once again, I thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming to us and partnering with us to see that we can come up also and be part of this process. I thank you very much.